Alright, back again, Luke here, and I know it's been a little while since I put up a video, but figured I'd show you guys some pickups and some projects, things that I've been up to. As you can see in front of me, I picked up another Naomi arcade hardware board, and this board here was actually not listed as non-working, and there were other boards that were part of a set, so I actually wound up picking a couple other boards up, and you can see here. I have 4 Naomi boards. Now, a lot of these Naomi boards here, the main problems that they have, there's a lot of different problems, at least from what I've found out online. And most of those problems happen to be down here. You can see that there's a C29. And what this is basically a super capacitor. And those capacitors wind up leaking and they cause board damage. I've removed all of those capacitors off of all of these boards here, and I got some new ones coming. Other problems that I've seen online happen to be this chip here, this IC chip, IC29, and this one here has a tendency to overheat. As you can see, some of these boards have already had some work done to them. This one and this one here have had work done to them, so I don't know if they'll be okay or not, but that's a common problem. Some other common problems are traces eating away at the underneath the EEPROMs, and other capacitors sometimes that are leaking. One of the boards, this one here, somebody replaced a capacitor on it. But a lot of these boards are incomplete. When I got these boards, some of them had missing parts on them. For example, this USB connector here was ripped off. You can see that the tab is missing, the black tab that kind of keeps the pins from going back too far. This thing was actually ripped backwards, so I tried to push it forward as much as I could, add some solder to it, so got that back on there. And on the inside here, you'll notice a couple of these things are missing some parts. 2 of these units are missing the fans for the CPU, and they're missing the other cooling fan over here. So I got 2 boards where I have to pick up a fan for this and a fan for that, and hopefully install that and see if we can get that to work. But I tried to run this Naomi hardware by using my Super Gun and my Capcom I/O board, but I feel that maybe it's not putting out enough juice. I was actually talking to Wicked Clown NZ as well, and we were trying to figure out what was going on with them, but I think that it's not putting out enough juice to get these things to go, because I'm just getting a lot of flickering on the TV, or the monitor's not turning on all the way. I mean, it could be still problems with these boards. When I had the capacitors in there, you know, it could have been still problems with the boards, but it's not only these that are having the problem. I did pick up something else, and that is this here. This is the Triforce arcade hardware. As you can see there, it's a kind of joint venture between Namco, Sega, and Nintendo. And they made 2 versions of this hardware here. This is one of the corner versions. It just looks like a regular, you know, corner piece. There's another one that had a DIM board that attached to the top, but this one already had a DIM board. It has all the parts that you need already installed into it. So as you can see here, it came with a GD-ROM drive. Now, when I went and I plugged this one in, this one had some other problems going on, and it wasn't just the fact that the board itself wasn't powering on, but the fan was totally toasted. I don't know if I can turn this thing around. You probably won't be able to see it, but inside here, there's a cooling fan, and the cooling fan that was inside this thing was, I mean, just literally rusted completely, you know, shut. There was no way it would spin. I tried to free it up as the best I could, but I wasn't able to free it up. So what I did is I found a little bit of an oversized fan, did some customizing to it, and got it to fit in place there. And when I plugged this one into my my Super Gun as well, you know, it was doing the same thing as what these Naomi boards were doing, and that's, you know, just some lines on the screen, and, you know, it seemed like it was really drawing just the bare minimum of power, even though I had everything cranked up to, you know, the max. So I'm thinking that in order to get these things going, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get out my my arcade monitors, or my whole arcade setup, and plug them in there and see what we can get. or pick up a power supply that runs both the Triforce and runs the Naomi. It's a dedicated power supply, which there's a couple of them for sale, so I'm going to see if I can get one of those. But these are some of the projects that I've been working on here. Like I'd said, with these here, one of the USB connectors was completely ripped off of one of these boards. I think it was this one. What I did is I found an old motherboard, an old PC motherboard, and I ripped the USB connector off of it and then soldered on the connector here, so it was able to fit into place, and all the pins lined up, so it was okay. But yeah, other parts, you know, some of these boards are semi-ready to go. You know, some of them look okay, some of them look a little bit rough. This one here, this is the other one that doesn't have the two fans on it, so I'm going to have to pick those up. These two boards up here, there's a couple of different revisions with these boards, so they look a little bit different. But this one here as well, this one has both of the fans in here. You can see that this fan is a bit of a replacement here, as well as this heatsink is. But it still does have both fans hooked up, and this is one of the ones that I'm kind of hoping that I'll be able to get up and running. But we'll have to wait and see about that in the future here. Hopefully I'll get those parts in sometime soon. But and the other one, try and get this back down there. Alright, I'll just leave that for right now. This other one here, this one actually has all of the original parts in it. And you can see that's the original fan that bolts right down to the original heatsink there, and then it has the original fan over here on the side. I cleaned up the tops of these things. These were really nasty. Still the insides here with the circuitry, you know, some of these fans aren't in the best of condition, but they still spin around, and they spin pretty, you know, freely. There's not a lot of noise or anything coming from them, so I'm thinking they're okay for right now. But I'm hoping that I can get at least a couple of these running, if not all of them. It depends on the amount of time, I guess, I put into them, or the amount of patience I have to deal with all of these to see if I can get them running. But these are some of the recent pickups that I wound up getting. You know, and I'm really looking forward to getting this Triforce up and going, because this Triforce hardware, there's a lot of different, you know, I guess tricks and things that you can do with this thing. You can put a lot of games on a compact flash drive and pop that in there, and this thing can play compact flash games. Also, you can play games off the GD-ROM, so I'm really looking forward to that. With this GD-ROM here, what's nice about that is that you can actually use it with the Naomi. So I'm looking forward to trying out the Naomi finally with a GD-ROM drive, because that would be pretty cool to have. Pretty neat to be able to play some of the Naomi GD-ROM games as well. But let's see here. Other updates. What is it? The Beirut board. I contacted Chris. I was actually given some advice from the Supreme Judge, who also owns the Gemma Nation X website, and he told me to contact Chris over at Sega Resurrection. And we went over there, and I talked to him, and he's making me up a kit, for Resurrection kit for my my Beirut board. So once I get that in, I'm going to try and hook that up and hopefully get my Beirut board back up and running, which would be nice. And yeah, eventually, when I have the correct power supplies, or the correct power that I can use for these boards, try and get these things up and running as well, and hopefully be able to get all that up and running. But nonetheless, just want to show you some of the stuff that I'm working on here at the moment. Oh, here's that fan. As you can see here, I'm kind of pressing on it, and yeah, that's what's left of the fan. It's just really nasty. On the inside there, it's all corroded. But I had that laying over there. But yeah, that's what I'm up to as of right now. But I'll put up some other videos here. I don't know what kind of videos, you know, gameplay videos or something like that when I get a chance here. But just want to show you something that I'm playing around with at the moment. And that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon. So thanks for watching.